Okay guys, this is Glenn and Sam with Right Race Garage again. Kind of late for a video, I know. We did say we'd get another one up today. Behind us is our 1972 C10 that this guy and I are working on. We've had this old truck for a long time now, and it is a little bit of a mutt. I mentioned that in our video that was earlier today. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what makes this thing a mutt. And that's really something to be okay with, guys. We all aren't destined to drive shiny new vehicles, and those are cool. Some of us are the kind of guys that drive vehicles that are made more than bought. And this is one of those. Now, forgive it being a little bit of a mess right now. She's getting a lot of work done. But what this thing is a 1972 Chevrolet C10. It's a half-ton pickup truck. A lot of the guys that are seeing this video by way of a tagline of C10 are going to know what that's all about right from start. But what makes this truck unique, just like a lot of these trucks are unique, is it's a little bit of a hodgepodge. It started out life as a 1972 C10, stock from the factory with a 350 small block, 2-barrel carburetor, turbo 350 transmission, and a 3.73 rear end in it. Very streetable half-ton pickup truck, really designed for more of a work truck than a cruiser. Over the years, this truck's had a little bit of work done to it before we got a hold of it, and we've continued down that path. What's in it right now is another small block Chevy. It's a 305 V8. Numbers wise, this one came out of, it looks to be a 78 Pontiac Firebird. There's the first step to being a mutt. It has a turbo hydromatic 350 under the chassis as well. Again, that's the same model transmission that it came from the factory with. It's been modified with shift kit from B&M. Shifts from first to third very quickly. Makes it fun to pull out from a light. The rear end that's in the truck, the differential, is, I believe, from a 69. It's got much more of a granny gear ratio in it than what the truck came with. That's on the to-do sheet for Sam and I to get that differential changed back to a 373, so it's a little bit more streetable. It's a little bit more fun to cruise in. Back up front, we've got a Corvette intake on the Pontiac Firebird 305. Now, there was nothing from the factory unique with this version of a 305. Had a very mild cam, very soft. That got wiped, so this engine's been cammed up quite a bit thanks to the guys at Jags. And it's got an Edelbrock 650 sitting on top. We're changing the fan right now from mechanical clutch-driven fan off the water pump to an electric fan from a late model Chevy Impala. That's why earlier today you saw us prepping and starting to install some of the fan control equipment. It's going to save just a couple of horsepower, but more importantly, it's going to help to keep this engine a little bit cooler. This engine likes to run just a little bit on the warm side for my comfort, so we're going to try to cool it down just a little bit. There are going to be several things happening on the motor, some fun stuff coming on that. And we'll say what, we won't say that it's not going to get a new intake, but we're not going to say that it is going to get a new intake either, just maybe. Sam is starting to touch the body just a little bit. It's had a coat of flat black implement paint on it like a lot of street machines have for a while now. Sam is getting some of that off, and we're letting a little bit of patina build up on the body. We're going to rework the bed on it. Right now we're converting the truck over from 5-lug to 6-lug due to the difference in the differential in the back. I don't want to have two different types of wheels and tires floating around, so we're converting that over, and that's not terrible. It's a rotor change. new bearings, and essentially from there a front brake job. But the biggest project on this thing, outside of what we're doing with the engine, is going to be on the interior. We're not really going to show the interior on this right now. It's kind of Spartan on the interior. It's got a couple of racing seats in it, and those have got us through a couple of years. But we're looking at the interior now. That we might like to bring that interior up to a little bit more of a modern state than what we've had before. Sam, why don't you go get the camera? Can you get that real easy without sending it into the crazy land? That looked an awful lot like crazy land from here. Okay, guys, we're going to try to get you in here a little bit, and hopefully that's a little bit better of a shot. It's like I said, it's a standard small block Chevy with an Edelbrock sitting on top, and it's halfway torn apart right now with some of the work we're doing on it. Once we get it back together just a little bit, we'll do some video on the engine a little bit more and bring you guys up to speed on what we're planning on that. There may be something interesting coming down the pike. Some of my Columbus car guys, one of them in particular, for years has been telling me to put an LS in it. Put an LS in that thing. Put an LS in it. If he sees this, he'll probably know who I'm talking about. That's going to be on the horizon as well. But that's just so we could show you tonight kind of what we got going. On the other side of this camera sits our other project. We've got an '86 Ford Thunderbird, and that's been in my family since it was new. We'll get some video on that as we can. Sam, you got anything else for them? You think they need to hit that like button?
Yeah.
They need to subscribe too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Sam says you need to like and subscribe. We're going to be sending out invitations, and hopefully we get everybody picked up. We do have a Facebook group that's coming online. And what the Facebook group, this page, we now have a Twitter. Just started that today, so bear with us on this stuff, guys. This is new, really, to a lot of us here. One of the reasons that we started this project of getting videos up, getting the Facebook group up, and everything surrounding that, and getting this whole Rat Race garage concept off the ground is, you can see we're standing in our garage. Biggest garage in the world. It's lit by starlight right now. Not everybody that's into cars, especially these old street cars, muscle cars, trucks, whatever your deal is, import cars, bikes, not everybody has a fantastic 7-car shop that's decked out with everything off the Snap-on or Mack truck. And we don't either. Not everybody knows everything right out of the chute. Not everybody knows how to do a body work. Not everybody knows how to do engine work. Not everybody knows how to do transmission work. Well, guess what? We don't either. We're learning as we go. We've done a lot of work. All the work on this truck has been done by Sam and I. We've had a little help by our good buddy Roy. You'll meet him a little bit later. But realistically, it's been just Sam and I with help from Roy on this truck. And we know that there's a lot of people out there that are in exactly the same boat, and we want to share information, tips, encouragement to everybody out there that's doing the same thing. One of the things that we see in the world is that there's all these message boards, there's all these Facebook groups, and a lot of them have really good stuff in them for the car scene. But guys like us, you go on there and You may be asked the question, how do I set the timing on a small block Chevy? How do I do that? How do I check my transmission fluid? I mean, down to something simple. And we've seen a lot of responses where guys will ask these kind of questions and they just get horrible beatdowns from people that if you have to ask that kind of question, you shouldn't even have that car. And guys, it shouldn't be that way. There should be a place to go for guys just like Sam, me, you, to get information and maybe a little encouragement and maybe a laugh or two when we really screw something up, because we do, just like every one of you do as well. And we want a place for people to get that information without getting beat down. And we want a place for a lot of our good friends that are in the car scene here in Ohio and West Virginia and everywhere else actually that this is seen, to have a place for them to come and ask a question, make a comment without getting beat down. So guys, that's it for tonight. Like Sam said, like and subscribe. We'll be making sure that our Facebook group is up and running. We want to see everybody join that and get involved. Sam and I aren't in a club. This is our club now. And we want to help everybody along, and we want to have a good time just like everybody else does. So guys, that's it for tonight. We'll see you really soon.